The dark tide consumed all. Death took her, as it will take me.
Swear by the eternal sun, I will slay you!
Hello everyone, welcome to PST channel, game story, movie style for your busy days. Today, we plunge back into the thrilling saga of Wuthering Waves with Chapter 2, Act 6. Rover and Lupa's victory in the Great Argon was just the prelude. Now, their path leads them to the sacred Veil of Glory, but a sinister frequency haunts their steps, and the lines between reality, memory, and a twisted, repeating story begin to blur. What is the truth behind the fallen gladiator Mia? And how is Lupa connected to the coming dark tide? Let's unravel the final secrets of Septimont. The story continues after Rover and Lupa win the battle and receive Arsenos's blessing. Rover meets Lupa at a designated location. Lupa introduces Arsenosa, the guardian echo known as the Lioness, who only acknowledges the strong and worthy. Though Arsenosa cannot speak, her presence resonates with battle cries and the lingering wills of fallen warriors whose weapons remain in the Veil of Glory, a sacred resting place for heroes. Rover senses a familiar frequency, similar to one he experienced earlier, and realizes that its source lies in the Veil of Glory, growing stronger as they approach. Lupa invites Rover to participate in a Septimontian ritual to connect with the spirits of the past. Rover agrees to join her. As they prepare to leave, Lupa experiences a brief dizzy spell, but brushes it off, attributing it to excitement. She expresses gratitude to Rover for their shared victories and newfound glory. As Rover approaches the Veil of Glory,
the connection between Lupa and this girl. I assume she might be Trinodian dissonant.
Rover sees a vision of Maya, realizing that the boundary between reality and anomaly grows thinner near this place. Rover begins connecting threads. Septimont, Lupa, Cartathia, Maya, and the Lioness of Glory. He reflects on Cartathia's sudden separation, suspecting either the Fractidus or the mysterious, supposedly defeated Threnodian might be behind it. Rover theorizes that Maya, a follower of the Order of the Deep, may have fallen under the Threnodian's influence, explaining her erratic behavior and hallucinations. Rover wonders whether the Threnodian's plan revolves around controlling the story's protagonist, who was once Maya and is now possibly Lupa. Rover also suspects a connection between Lupa, Cartathia, and the Threnodian, questioning whether Lupa is forgetting crucial events or hiding the truth. Lupa notices Rover's unease and asks if something is wrong. Rover resolves to follow his own judgment, determined to shape the story's path, no matter what fate may already be written. Rover and Lupa reach the Veil of Glory, where weapons of fallen heroes are embedded in stone. Lupa explains Septimont's tradition of touching these weapons to hear the whispers of those who wielded them. When Rover touched the sword of Turculus, a Septimontian hero, suddenly Cartathia appears briefly, speaking cryptically about the Sentinel Imperator and a Genesis nexus similar to Ragunna's, hinting at something seeking greater power. As reality flickers, Tasset discords and the tidal blight appear again. Rover and Lupa fight them off. Lupa is puzzled by the sudden manifestations and the recurring overlaps in reality. After defeating the enemies, a mysterious sound draws them deeper. Lupa admits the place feels familiar, despite not recalling being there before. Rover confirms the presence of the Imperator's frequency, leaving no doubt that something critical is hidden within the mountain. After that, both of them went inside.
As the Cartier were at the beginning. It's dark time.
Thou carry the scent of Cartithia.
Not just knowledge. You've stolen the Sentinel's access too. Lupa's role in this story isn't yours!
Is that Contender Mia?
It's the Thenodian. Lupa, this is something only you can do.
Tell me what I need to do.
Read the script. Adapt as required. I believe in you, warrior.
To lose our strength is the deepest fear of Septimontians. Pride hides the terror within. We fear no death, yet tremble before shame and failure. Did Domina Julia deceive me for this? I never got the chance to ask. The dark tide consumed all. Death took her, as it will take me.
Today as yesterday, we weave time beneath the tide. Swim, swim, wretched yet lovely fish. Dream deeply in my fiction, on the stage of a repeating tale, waiting for the day thou shalt consume the world.
O righteous one, I shall depart without a word. The golden city in my childhood legend is swallowed by the abhorrent tide. I whisper to my fleeting companion. Pages will scatter. The quill will fall. This play shall be torn from its author's hands.
A wrong note in the shifting score. O golden star full of mercy, pray tell me, as past and present intertwine, what fate have you chosen?
Hesitate not, warrior. You are the protagonist I have chosen. Only you can shatter the script and jump to the next page. Right. For the nobility you seek. For it all.
When Lupa awakens, breathing heavily, unsure if what she's experiencing is a dream, but quickly realizes it's not, she feels reassured by the trust Rover placed in her and is glad not to face everything alone anymore. She recalls that she once travelled with Cartithia, confirming that she's inside a Sonoro, a repeating story realm created by the Fractidus. This particular story, the Great Aegon, repeats over 3 days. Lupa realises she's been trapped in its bloody cycle countless times before. She reflects that the dark tide consumes Septimont in every loop, feeding a monstrous, half-human sea creature. she begins to understand the Fractidus' plan to destroy and rewrite reality through endless stories. Lupa compares the Snorro to overlapping pages of a script. Each change in one version subtly alters the next. Thanks to Cartathea's past actions, the current timeline, where Rover arrives, has shifted toward hope. She remembers how Cartathea saved her, how Rover defeated the Threnodian, and how Septimont was saved in the previous cycle. The monster threatening them now had its energy supply cut off, but it's still not in its true form. She and Cartathea once searched for its true body, hidden in the waters of the lower city. Now, fully aware, Lupa vows not to betray Rover's trust again. Lupa arrives at the flooded Old District, the water stirring memories of when she once walked these streets with Cartathea. In that memory, Lupa is exhausted and realizes she's lost not only strength, but even her identity, unable to remember her name. Cartathea explains that someone stole her role in the story, erasing her name and existence. To reclaim it, the entire story must be undone. Though despairing, Lupa expresses regret for being unable to help Cartathea. Cartathea shares memories of hearing tales about vibrant Septimont in her childhood, a city of passion and fearless people. But when she arrived, it was already consumed by the dark tide, left hollow and devastated. Cartathea vows to fight the Leviathan and uncover those responsible for Septimont's fall. Lupa senses that the monstrous force leaving traces in the dark tide shares a frequency similar to hers. Cartathea reveals that the Threnodian created her to be a resonator for its power, but she was only one among many vessels, most of whom failed. Despite many unknowns, Cartathea insists that Lupa has a unique specialness. She recounts how she herself once wished to end everything, but was saved and returned to the world by a certain person. She believes that same person will come to reshape the twisted story. Lupa and Cartathea's journey together comes to an end when Lupa is erased from the story. But before she vanished, Cartathea imparts a frequency that binds Lupa's fate with Rover. Cartathea confirms that the creature she's hunting is hiding deep within Septimont's underground waterways. Lupa resolves to drain the Old District's flooded streets to reach the underground waterway where the monster waits. With Rover and Cartathea's hopes resting on her, she seeks the truth behind Maya's disappearance decades ago. Lupa decides to use the Giant of Glory to drain the water from the Old District and enter the underground waterway. Inside the underground waterway, the copper mirror reveals Julia Silva striking a deal with the playwright to recover Mia's remains. Cristoforo reveals that the body in question is Maya, whose corpse, even in death, holds crucial data for the Fractidus' experiments. Despite Maya's frail resonance abilities and lackluster public presence, Cristoforo insists she's vital to a greater plan, building a unit deep within the aqueducts and crafting a new reality. Lupa discovers the Fractidus' underground lab, disgusted that Septimontians like the Silvers are betraying their city to shelter the enemy within. Cristoforo and Phrolova inspect Mia's preserved body, still appearing lifelike decades after her suicide. Cristoforo explains that Mia was a failed resonator for the Threnodian, who once sought to corrupt Septimont's central hub and control the city's leadership through the Grand Argon. When the Threnodians' plan failed, Maya chose death, stabbing herself and leaping into the sea, a fate Cristoforo finds beautifully tragic. Lupa continues to explore this place. The copper mirror reveals the Lady of the Sea, Maya's Threnodian corrupted remains, speaking with a lingering reverberation of Maya's soul. Seeing its daughter continue to stubbornly reject its control, the Lady of the Seal grows displeased and silences her. The confusion that has churned in Lupa's heart begins to ease, thanks to Rover, Cartathea and Maya. The light of clarity strengthens her resolve into a keen edge. Lupa swears to destroy the Lady of the Sea, who then proclaims she was born from humanity's fears and desires, and condemns people's endless cycle of violence and ambition. Lupa retorts that the lady has no right to judge the people of Rinascita, praising Mia's dignified choice to die free rather than become a puppet. She scorns the lady for hiding in her incubator, unable to face death like a true human. The Lady of the Sea coldly insists that a human life is nothing but a brief scream between life and death.
Better to die than to be a puppet. Death does not scare me.
If divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against divinity.
I heard your request. But I prefer to handle this my way.
Absolute cinema.
Victory isn't won in an instant. It takes patience and perseverance.
I believe in you. Warrior.
Those rainbow color that I can trade for stuff from gacha shop or
I
not.
swear by the eternal sun, I will slay you! Greatness has no summit, and victory is never the final word. Ground! Pitiful! Cry! Love! Race to the finish! To face death with the crown of glory! By my will! Let this light burn in all its fury!
To me, there is no greater joy in this world.
What a shame. Seems the play I've written isn't well received.
What are you two plotting in Rinascita?
Oh dear madam. Let's leave some mystery for the next chapter, shall we?
There is something no one can take from me. All the bruises I've just believe it's a solution to my doubts and deepest fears. Glory's not all about winning, but blazing till we last minute.
Lupa raises her spear at the awakened Lady of the Sea. With the Threnodian's frequency finally gone, Lupa, Rover, and Cartethia reunite safely. Rover praises Lupa for her efforts, and Cartethia jokingly compares the moment to a tale of knights, or perhaps a gladiator's saga. Abby reappears, confused and worried. She had been with Rover, but suddenly blacked out when something disrupted her frequency. Now she finds herself already in Septimont, surprised to see Cartethia and Lupa. Lupa remarks on Abby's energetic return, amused by her enthusiasm. Abby demands an explanation for everything she missed. Cartethia suggests it's time they compare notes, to piece together everything that has happened, and finally, fill in the story's remaining blanks. Cartethia recounts what happened after Lupa vanished. She destroyed the experimental unit, pursued the Threnodian, and defeated the Lioness of Glory, which had been under its control. She then discovered a hidden truth in Septimont, a secret left behind by the Sentinel. Long ago, the Sentinel transferred part of their knowledge to Septimont's central hub to protect it from the Threnodian. Even the Sentinel forgot about it afterward. Within this secret, Cartethia found a special frequency, one that felt faintly like Rover's. When Rover touches it, the frequency vanishes, but points to a new destination in Septimont, the hunting grounds, where the blight cloud still lingers. Cartethia believes the true secret lies there. She also warns that the Fractidus' reality-warping power is stronger than expected, and the central hub may be the Threnodian's ultimate target. Still, with the worst of the battle behind them, Cartethia proposes taking a moment of rest. She asks Lupa to be their guide and share more about the beauty and history of Septimont. Lupa agrees, but has something to do first: returning Maya's sword to the place where she died. Though Maya's feelings for Septimont were complicated, Lupa believes she deserves to rest there, especially with the Bloodleaf Viburnum, a traditional tribute to fallen gladiators. Lupa reflects proudly on her city, Septimont, the city of glory, where people live with passion, face both triumph and failure, and hold on to their hopes no matter what. After that, Rover and Lupa were having some casual conversation after everything. Lupa has reposted Silvers and Julia misdeed to Effa's palace, but finding them will take time. Lupa also mentioned that the arena has become a much better place with less corruption since Augusta has become the Effa, and what could happen to her if lives lead into different ways. But, in the end, nothing matters, since everything leads her to meet with Rover, so she feels content. Lupa tells Rover that, remember, if one day Rover gets defeated, remember that those he has helped will never let him face it alone. And so, the immediate darkness vanquished, but a new path shrouded in mystery before them. The Sentinel's forgotten secret, the lingering blight cloud, and the playwright Cristoforo's next move all hang in the balance. What lies in wait for them in the hunting grounds? And can they truly stop Fractidus' grand, tragic play? The story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what happens next.